Good morning! Good morning, David. The angle you're at, you look like you're just sat in a sort of armchair or something.
Just relaxing.
Just relaxing. We are relaxing. We're relaxing on our way to London because today, welcome, by the way, to another reading vlog from me, Lauren, from Lauren on the Bits. Hiya. When I'm up close, I always think my glasses look so big. When it's far away, it's okay. We're going to London! We are going to London for David's Christmas present. I got him tickets to go to the Stranger Things play, which is called First Light.
First Shadow.
First Shadow. Brilliant. The opposite of light. And we've got a matinee performance of that booked today. It is filthy out there.
Gross.
And we're just driving to Stratford. We're going to park there. David's got to pop into work. But I was thinking, while you pop into work, to save me going outside, I'm going to go to Boots and get myself an eye cream because I've got a really crusty eye.
We will be a little bit outside where we're parking.
Oh, we're not parking in the normal place?
I wasn't going to.
Can we, please? Thank you. Thank you. That's that logistics sorted out. And then we're going to go to Dishoom for breakfast, which I'm very, very excited about. I don't think we've had a Dishoom breakfast, David, since we went to watch the Harry Potter play.
Oh, I don't think we have.
Which was...
years ago.
9 years ago?
Maybe.
10 years ago?
I think so.
I was living at home when you got me that Christmas present.
No, we were living together.
Were we?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, no, it wasn't in that first year.
Oh, okay. I just remember seeing it. Well, anyway, we haven't been to Dishoom for breakfast for a very long time, and the options have expanded. So I'm excited about that. So we're going to Dishoom for breakfast, then we're going to watch the play, then we're going to Tottenham Court Road to go to Foyles, and then maybe we'll get some dinner if we need some, or we'll just come home and see how we go.
See what happens.
The world is our London oyster. And yeah, I know I'm aware that I haven't started this reading vlog in the way that I normally do, with sort of like, these are the plans that I'm reading and stuff like that, but this vlog will also include Saturday, so I will do that then as well. So there'll still be a question come in, and I'll talk to you about my books and stuff like that, and I'm cooking myself some noodles tomorrow. David doesn't really like noodles, and David's out tomorrow night, so that's why he's happy. He does not like noodles.
They are disgusting.
They're not disgusting. But yeah, I mean, let me show you the weather outside. It's frightful. Yeah, there we go. Absolutely filth on it, isn't there?
Absolutely filth.
Disgusting. So yeah, we're about an hour away. Yeah, I think maybe now, how would you feel about listening to Dish, and it's got Stephen Graham and Erin Doherty on it?
Lovely.
He would feel good about that. Cool. Alright then, well, we'll do that, and we'll see you when we get to London, and I've got to get myself an eye cream for my crusty eye. And probably an umbrella, a small one that can fit in my bag.
I was thinking that maybe you could pop into Primark and get one.
I'll get one in Boots. They'll be sturdier. Okay, bye! B-roll. This has worked out perfectly. We're going for breakfast now, but the theatre, where it is opposite Foyles. So we can slip out of here and slip straight into there. And we've seen the chocolate bar shop David wants to go to as well. But we keep on walking on. Not raining, hurrah. Cannot wait to get in there. We're in Dishoom. It's very nice. I'm going to go for the vegan Bombay. David is having the Wrestler's Naan roll. I'm going to have a house chai with oat milk, and David's having a fresh orange juice, no poppycock. But he is considering the haggis, or are you not now?
I am a little bit. I am a little bit.
Oh my god.
It's got cream cheese on it.
Has it?
Nice.
Wow, things. Yummy, yum, yum. Oh god. We're in Forbidden Planet. This is the sci-fi and fantasy mecca and I've found this Telltale Treats, which looks cosy and nice, so I might get this. And David, I found a book for David as well. I was wondering whether or not to buy the second book in the Fourth Wing series, but I have got a reservation on it at the library. This looks fun. They all look fun. Chalky bars. I'm going for this one, pistachio and cherry. David's in there purchasing. He's having a, I don't know what he's having. Looks lovely though. We've had these before. Oh, they've got these.
Nope. No, good, thank you.
We're in the theatre. David's quite nervous. He's already said he's put his bag in the aisle, because we're on the aisle seats, so that will chop off any, forgive me if I'm wrong David, demi-gorgons. And he's also had a little look around the auditorium to see if anyone looks like actors, but I think you'll be alright.
You never can tell.
We've still got 10 minutes before it even starts, but he's a bit nervous. Should have shown you the chocolate bars, but they look really nice. I've got lipstick sort of everywhere. Yeah, okay. We'll check in the interval.
That rumble noise.
Oh, what? That's not in the plate, that's the tube from here.
I just heard it then.
Very nice.
I mean, like, if it is part of the play, then bravo, but if it's not, then that's added. Because it always seemed to be almost when Henry Crewell was talking that you heard the rumble.
It's the interval.
It's halfway during the play right now.
We've been watching for an hour and 35 minutes. It's only just the interval. It's very good. What did you say, David? Scary but good.
Scary but good. Well, it's just, well, yeah.
She's got a lot of chocolate down there. It's very good. There's 2 school groups in. We saw them queuing outside. And they are losing their minds.
Yeah, the crowds are going.
Anytime anything happens, people are cheering and whooping. It's really good atmosphere.
Good. Yeah, it's cool. It is really good atmosphere.
I should have mentioned I've never watched Stranger Things, but I'm still enjoying it, despite not having watched any of it.
Does it make you want to watch a show?
Not at all.
Oh, that's a shame, because I probably would have liked to watch it.
But there's lots of moments where it obviously makes sense to people, and people are like, oh, and I'm just
when the doctor comes out at the end.
Yeah. But yeah, I can't believe. At one point, I was like, there can't be an interval day because this has been going on for so long. So yeah, I've just hit the chocolate bar and it's lovely. And yeah, I'm comfortable. I might stand up for a little bit now.
Yeah,
I doubt we'll be going into another hour and a half.
No, I think it's probably an hour the second half.
Yeah, cool.
A bit shorter.
But yeah, enjoying it. Chocolate everywhere. Nearly eating all the nuts.
Yeah, you've been absolutely
Have some water.
terrorising them nuts.
Say bye.
Bye.
We're in foils. David's on the come down. Did you enjoy it, David? There was a big jump scare at the end which really freaked him out. Oh god, yeah, I definitely want to have a look at here. So we went up to the top so David could have the loo, and we're just working our way down. We're currently down the world travel section. But yeah, I think we're gonna have a nice browse. Calm down. Do you feel calm? He's been behaving very unusually.
I know, I feel discombobulated.
Yeah, but I want to have a look at the cookbooks. They've got a very good cookbook selection over here, which I'm excited about, including Britain's Best Bakeries. And yeah, I'm after a book called Unschooled. Oh god, there's a new Pizza Pilgrims book out. He'll be very into that. That is cool as. Cool as. Right, let's carry on looking. Let's go and find him and check he's alright. This is super.
Friends, join the melody and play with all your might to awaken the keeper of us. The force.
David is playing the game. He is Lyra, who's there. And he's playing his little, well, it says drums, but that to me looks very much like a xylophone. It's so cute. Oh! Cute.
just showing that blanket. I don't want it covering me.
No, it's covering me, David. Don't be such a fool. Why would I waste this gorgeous blanket on you? Oh, it's quite a lot of... That's because I was a bit concerned about your
genitalia
falling out. We're home! We had a lovely day. It's very tiring going to London, isn't it?
It is.
We finished up the day by... I don't want to get into a habit of doing this because shopping centres aren't my happy place.
No.
Like I often find them quite sort of stark and depressing and the lighting's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
But as seems to be the case the last few times we've been to London, because we park where David works, we've spent the day looking around the shops in order to sort of generate a bit of a appetite so that we can eat something. And we ate in a pizza place which was, I believe, it looks as though it's a chain probably, but well it had like a
yeah, I assume it would be, yeah.
Babera pizza
Sourdough
place
Italian
that
base.
David had walked past this morning and seen and thought, oh hello, and it's only been there 2 months, and it was very, very nice. I had
really
a
nice.
anchovy black olive mozzarella pizza. Oh, she jumped out, and it was yummy. What pizza did you have?
I had I can't remember the name of it, but it had Yorkshire sausage on it.
Yeah,
what else? Just mozzarella.
Bit of this, bit of that.
Yeah, bit of this, bit of that. Nothing too exciting, but it was delicious with a side of well, I asked for aioli, but I don't know, it felt very garlic buttery.
Oh, okay.
But either way, it was nice.
Either way, and our server was lovely. We were saying on the way home, we've had such a lovely time. Do you want to sit back a bit so you're not
Sorry,
the
I'm just
biggest
scratching
head of
my
all
foot.
time and I'm a little peahead in the background?
This is scratch cam.
Oh, okay.
Scratch cam
we had a
donut.
lovely time with... Go on, even a bit further. Just relax. We had a lovely time with all of this, like just the staff that we spoke to today on tills, serving us in restaurants. Lovely stuff.
It pays to be nice.
Oh,
but, I mean,
for us,
it doesn't pay for the goods.
no. Yeah.
It's always
I
nice
always
to
try and
be
be
nice.
nice to servers because I think, oh god, they've got such a
and they
hard,
probably do
horrible
with
job.
dickheads all
They
day.
probably do. Not us though. We're not dickheads.
We're not
Yes, we finished the day eating pizza, going around the shops, etc, etc. But we just wanted to bring you, while I'm doing my temperature blanket for February. So far, every single day in February has been between
Oh, what a lovely pattern!
between 6 and 10 degrees. So every single day has been this colour.
And
This
it's
is
looking
January's
like
temperature
it.
blanket. I've been having a lovely time with it. We wanted to bring you a review. Go on, sit back, David. Stop being the big meathead.
I just feel like I'm really uncomfortable lying back there like that.
We wanted to bring you a review of the Stranger Things play, spoiler-free review of the Stranger Things play. The Stranger Things
First shadow.
First Shadow. Now, I am somebody who has never ever seen Stranger Things before. Sure, I've seen it on in the background while David's been watching it, but normally he had his headphones on because it's a bit loud to have on in the background. David is a massive, massive fan of Stranger Things. How did you enjoy it? No spoilers. God knows how you're going to review it, not just tell everyone the whole plot.
No, yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I am a bit of a scaredy cat.
That's not
when
unfortunate.
it comes
That's a
to
lovely
jump
thing.
scares and stuff like that. And where we was positioned, we was on the end of the row.
Which was lovely
I
for
was on
foot
the
room. end
of the row for foot room, but I was next to a fire exit with a curtain. So all throughout, because there are times. So I would say this: nothing scary happens in the audience, but things happen in the audience.
Yeah.
But nothing scary.
Nothing scary.
But I obviously didn't know that, so I thought something was going to come out of that fire exit. So I always had that little fear next to me. But I really enjoyed it. I found it really interesting. Lots of, I wouldn't even really call them Easter eggs because that's why you're there. It's not as if they've been subtly kept in. But I think the first shadow, it's set in the past, so all of the characters, all of the parents are in there as high school students. And then you're finding out about how Henry became Vecna, pretty much.
Is that a spoiler?
No, not
okay.
at all. No, because I mean, people know that's what it's
Okay.
about. And yeah, I loved it. And even in the crowd, when certain things happen, we're all like, ooh. Ooh.
I will say, and we both discussed this on the way home, the crowd experience was one of the best crowd experiences.
It's the best
I've
crowd
been in.
experience I've ever had.
Because everyone seemingly was a big fan of the show. So, and they were cheering. There was 2 school groups in there. we saw them as we were queuing up to go in. There seemed to be like a boys' school and a girls' school, so there was like at the very least 60 school kids upstairs, and they were losing their mind over stuff. They were cheering, they were screaming, and throughout, this is something that really bothers me normally, throughout you could sort of hear people saying, oh my god, that's for that, oh god, did you see that, and like, because I hadn't seen it before, I'm like, I didn't know any of these things, but I really enjoyed the sort of camaraderie of
it really felt like it was like for the fans, and
people were just like losing their mind. There's some really great effects in there.
God,
like
there's some fantastic
I don't think we can say any of them without spoiling,
no, you
but really really great effects. And one of the things which I can say, because it doesn't allude to anything that happens, but there was a sequence where there was a sequence of quick changes where one of the characters, you might not even have noticed it was happening. There was a sequence of quick changes where one of the characters is changing out of one dress into another dress into another dress. Do you want me to say when this happened? Did you not notice this was happening? I can cut this bit out.
Yeah.
Right, we're back. So yeah, so even like things like that, there was like a quick change section which I really, really enjoyed. Something I will say, it's 3 hours long in total, and the first half is an hour and a half, which took me by surprise, because it got to one point I was like, maybe there is no sequel, maybe there is no interval, because this feels like it's been going on for such a long time. And then literally I said to David, how long has this been going on for? And then literally after that there was an interval. The whole thing, including the interval, is 3 hours.
So it's a big one,
which is probably standard maybe for a theatre experience.
Maybe.
Like, I didn't feel like bored or anything at any point, but I just thought, oh my god, I've been sat in the same space for a really long time.
No, I mean that hour and a half flew by for me, that first one.
But yeah, so as someone who hasn't seen it, so someone who has seen it and loves the series, was also very, very entertained. I hadn't seen it, and I had an idea of what it was about. I knew it was set in the 80s, had seen people that are in it over the series, but I don't feel like I missed out at all not knowing what it was about. I feel like it's very inclusive for people. It's a great sort of entry point maybe for some people. Like, imagine if that was the first time they'd seen anything to do with Stranger Things, and then they went on to watch the series.
I think
is what I'm not going to do.
If that was the first time I'd seen it, I'd probably be like, I think I'd be too frightened to watch the show.
But yeah, I thought it was very inclusive, and like I had a great time. I really did. I had a great time.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's opposite foils,
yeah,
that's a 10 from me. No, it wasn't a 10. No, it was great though. It was really, really good. Really, really good.
And I think as long as, like, I am one of the biggest scaredy cats ever. Like, jump scares, I hate them. And there were some in this, but...
You're braver than my sister.
Yeah, your sister will not be able to handle that.
She is a big scaredy cat.
Yes, so she might be the only person who's more frightened than me with things like that. But yeah, it was still great. I think if you're definitely a fan of the show, I don't know how long it's going to be on for.
Yeah, so when I booked it for David's birthday, at that point it was stopping in April. So I booked it for February. But we saw somebody at your dad's birthday party who I said, oh, you said you were going to see it, and they said, oh, we're going to see that too. And I said, I know, I couldn't believe it was stopping in April. And they said, oh no, we've got tickets for October, so it looks as though it has been extended. But yeah, it was another thing I think is amazing is that it's in the Ambassadors Theatre, like I said, opposite Foyles on Tottenham Court Road, and for a Friday matinee performance, for it to be full, I mean, excitingly, it was full of like kids who were having a great time as well. That's based on a TV show. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
It is really cool.
We're not sure how long it's been going on for, but to still be, and the place was packed. There was no like, it was like.
But I suppose like with the because you've got the animation coming out soon, like would that spark interest again?
Maybe.
Like, maybe want them, because I don't know, they're talking about doing spin-offs and stuff. Like,
how could they not, David, after the success?
Like
anyway.
But yeah, really good fun.
Would recommend. Would recommend. Right, okay, well, we've spoken about that for 9.5 minutes. We are now going to try and watch the Winter Olympics 2026 live opening ceremony. We haven't been able to watch it yet because every time we were saying...
Oh, it's jumping up.
It's saying watch from 1950, but we want to see it from the beginning.
Yeah, when it's starting at 6:30.
So yeah, and I'm going to carry on with this, and then I'm going to go to bed, and then when you see me tomorrow morning, in these pyjamas still, I'll do the normal reading vlog things.
Spiel.
The normal spiel. So yeah. Night. This angle is horrible. Sorry for those who've had to sit through this horrible angle.
For 9.5 minutes.
10 minutes, 9 seconds now. Bye! Well, what a lovely day that was yesterday. And what a terrible day I'm having today. Like, terrible. But I want this video to go up on Sunday, so I need to continue. And quite often people message me and say, oh Lauren, how do you maintain such a lovely sunny disposition? You're all the time. And I always say, oh, I'm just lucky. I don't often get in a bad mood. And yet here I am in an absolutely foul mood today. It's a combination of things. Obviously I'm not going to go into masses of details about it, but I've got some health stuff going on at the moment, which is causing great pain and annoyance. And then I've just got a few things weighing on me that are sort of time dependent, but also I'm having to rely on other people to get those things done. And it's all just becoming a bit much, and it all came to a bit of a head this morning. And then I've spent the rest of the day just moping around, feeling sorry for myself. Now, I'm not saying I can't dwell on it, because I will, but now I've got to sort of get on with things a bit, haven't I, Deppy? Do you want to come here and say hello on the camera? But I thought I'd ease myself into the Saturday of this, because I've got other things, like I said, I'll do the question and I'll talk about what I'm reading and stuff, but I thought I'd ease myself in by telling you about the books I've got out from the library and the books I've received recently. Oh, I've got 2 more that I bought yesterday. Oh. That wince as I sit down will give you an idea of health related pain. But yeah, and then when I'm about to take David to meet his friends to watch the rugby, and then he's got a surprise birthday party tonight for another friend. Oh, so I'm going to be eating noodles and sulking on the sofa for the evening. So when I get back from dropping David off, I'll tell you more about what I'm reading and things like that. But let's go through books that I've received recently or bought. So yesterday I bought David this. I'll take this bit. So we went to Forbidden Planet yesterday, didn't we? I think I might have briefly spoken about these yesterday, but this is called Head Cleaner, and what attracted me to it was the VHS-ness of this front cover, and I thought David would really like it. It's by David James Keaton, and it's about workers of a Blockbuster store trying to track down a late rental, and they discover a video player with some very special features, including it can change the ending of movies and maybe even affect the real world. But that's for David to read, but I also think maybe I'll read it again. It sounds, read it at some point as well, so there's that. Then I got myself Telltale Treats. I just thought this looked very cute and twee. I'll put my face there so you can see how cute and twee it is. And often these sort of cosy witchy books are sort of autumnal, and I thought this looked quite springy. It's got some blossom on the trees there and some flowers and stuff, and it's about a group of high school alumni meeting together and reserving rooms at it's called the Pixie Inn, cosy, for extended retreat. As part of their pampering package, Felicity delivers a scrumptious assortment of enchanted pastries, including her new almond cookies, and then the queen bee of the group is found dead in the bathroom, etc, etc. So it's an investigation. But yeah, I just thought this was so cute. If I hold it next to a normal size paperback, look how diddy it is. So yeah, I thought that'd be a nice little spring read. And then I got, this is so heavy, I can't actually believe how heavy this is. This is The Story of Art Without Men by Katie Hessel. This is the paperback version of it, and one of my prompts for my non-fiction reading challenge in spring, which will always be linked down below, is to read a book that includes illustrations or photos. Well, this includes photos of illustrations. So because it's got pictures of paintings and stuff in, so yeah, I will look forward to that. And there's a sort of accompanying podcast that I've just started following. I haven't listened to any of them yet, but I've just started following that, so that's that. So they're the 3 I got yesterday. Then I got in the post today a non-fiction book called Find Your Pace by Emma Kirk Odenubi, about how running changed my life and how it can change yours too, with practical advice for getting started or getting better. Now, I've done a few times Couch to 5k. It was a big help for me in lockdown, but whenever I get to the end of that Couch to 5k, or to the point where I'm just having to run all the time, I find that bit very boring. I much prefer running for 3 minutes, walking for 90 seconds, or running for 5 minutes, walking for 3 minutes, that sort of thing, like changing it up. So I wonder if this might encourage me to get back to doing couch to 5k, and also encourage me to move a bit. So there's that. Then my friend Emma gave me Flesh by David Soleil. This was the winner of the Booker Prize. She read it and was influenced by it because she kept seeing it on posters everywhere, and then just said it was okay. It's about 15-year-old I mean, why am I reading this? I'm sure lots of people will know about it. I don't know. Lives with his mother in a quiet apartment complex in Hungary. New to the town and shy, he is unfamiliar with the social rituals at school and soon becomes isolated with his neighbour, a married woman close to his mother's age, as his only companion. Their encounters shift into a clandestine relationship that Isfan barely understands, and his life soon spirals out of control. There we go. That is that. And then I've got 2 more non-fictions that were sent to me by the publisher. I've got The Swedish Art of Ageing Well, but Finding Joy in the Everyday. Maybe she should read this today. By Margareta Magnusson. And this looks like a short little one. In fact, I've got one that's less than, you've got to read one that's less than 200 pages. This could well be it. That's David with the hairdryer on. So I'll wrap this up and then I'll do the library books later. And Overwhelmed, I should read this today as well. Ways to Take the Pressure Off by Claudia Hammond. Maybe I'll just have a brief look at this now. Christ, I'm sad and fed up and miserable face today. Oh, that was so close. I've just dropped David off to watch the rugby. And then, like I said, he is going to a friend's surprise birthday party tonight. So, and I've said I'll pick him up at half past 11 latest. So I've said, if you're done before 11:30, then do let me know. So yeah, but it is just 5:30 now. So essentially 5:30, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So potentially I've got 6 hours. And those 6 hours are going to be the sort of, well, maybe not even 6 hours. No, I've got 6 hours. And they're going to be the rest of this vlog. So for dinner tonight, I'm going to have chili vinegar noodles with sesame tofu from the Easy Wins book. David doesn't like noodles. I mean, why? And he also really doesn't like vinegar, and this is the vinegar section. But before I make that for dinner, because it's only 5:30, I'm going to make, and I feel like this will help my brain because it will be focusing on a recipe. I'm going to make sweet pickled apple pie first. I love apple pie, and I very, very, very rarely have it because David's not one for a fruity dessert, and even more so, he's not one for a fruity dessert and custard. So I bought myself a can of custard and and I'm going to make this sweet pickled apple pie, which serves 8. So I'll have a portion tonight, probably a portion tomorrow. I mean, he'll probably force down a portion tomorrow and then say, actually, that's all right. And then potentially eat it into Monday and Tuesday. So yeah, and that takes a while. So I think I've been having a really, really lovely time. That leads me on to what I'm reading. I've been having a really, really lovely time listening to What I Ate in 1 Year and Other Related Faults by Stanley Tucci, or The Tuch. And it is just such a delight to listen to. It is Stanley Tucci's diary from a year, told through what he's eaten and where he is at different times of the year. So at the beginning, in January, February and into March, he was filming Conclave in Rome, so he was eating a lot of stuff like pastas and stuff like that. We've just got to the end of the summer, and they spent a lot of the summer in Italy and out and about. They live in England now, so there's lots of like sort of love for fish and chips and sort of traditional English food. We're now into September, and it's just been so lovely. He's got such a lovely voice that can sort of talk you through everything that he's eating and stuff like that. It's been really, really nice. So I'm going to continue to listen to Stanley, and also make my sweet pickled apple pie. I've got to go and get my other book that I'm reading because that's the one I'm actually physically reading. 2 seconds. So I have started reading The Dance Tree by Kira Millward Hargrave. This came out in 2022. Oh, that's 4 years ago. 2022 does not feel like 4 years ago. And it's the book I'm reading for my book club at my library. And it needs to be done by Tuesday afternoon. So I would like to get to a point where I'm over 100 pages through. I'm 92 pages. Oh, I'll definitely get that done. Yeah, I'll definitely get that done. Maybe even a little bit more. So yeah, I'd like to read another sort of 20-30 pages of this today. And yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. It's set in Strasbourg in 1518, and it's a really, really hot summer. And we're with a family who's just had and we're following a woman, Lisbeth, whose sister-in-law has just returned from paying a penance for something for 7 years, but we don't quite know what that is yet. But there's a lot of sort of animosity to her in the village and stuff like that. And then in the background, what's going on is that there's a woman has started sort of dancing in the town square and wouldn't stop, and every time they removed her home she'd come back, and she's sort of in a trance. And now the most recent thing we found out is that there's lots more women that have since joined her, and yeah, we shall see. We shall see. And then I'd also like to start East Side Voices, essays celebrating East and Southeast Asian identity in Britain. This is edited by Helena Lee. This is the book that I'm reading for the essays prompt on my non-fiction challenge for winter. And yeah, this is one I've had on my shelf for a while, and I've always been very much looking forward to it, so why not read it now? So yeah, I think I will read some of both of this evening. The question that we will answer at the end of this vlog, in a mere matter of hours for me, is one that was popped on the first reading vlog I did of the year, and it's a really lovely question, and I feel like I need a bit of loveliness at the moment, and would love for you guys to answer it in the comments down below. And the question says, describe your ideal reading day. Where are you? What are you eating, drinking, listening to, wearing, who's there, etc. So that would be very nice to think about that. So yeah, I'm going to do the library books, because I showed you the books that I got my hands on recently, but I'm going to do the library books once I've got the apple pie in the oven. So the last thing to say is that I will be finishing the video by learning a little bit of black history. I can actually tell you who it's going to be, can't I? What is the date today? 6th of February? 7th of February. 7th of February. So it will be today about the Kingdom of Kush. So at the end of this video I will read the excerpt on the Kingdom of Kush, and I will relay back to you what I've learned, and that way I'm getting a little bit of black history, and I'm hopefully passing a little bit on to you as well. So there we go. I think I shall go and start upon the pie, listening to Stanley, and then come back, maybe show you the library books, then go and make the noodles, and maybe read while I'm eating the noodles. I mean, David and I love to watch Casualty together, but I could potentially watch Casualty whilst eating the noodles and then watch it again tomorrow. We shall see. But yeah, come with me. And there's been a lot of like far away angling of this of this sofa. Come with me while we make sweet pickled apple pie. I think there's going to be quite a lot of apple chopping. Oh, it says to use a mixture. I have not got a mixture. Well, I've gone as far as I can with the pie. Alexa, how long left on the timer?
You have 28 minutes left.
So I've got half hour until the pastry is rested enough. Chopped, and these are chopped the apples, and these are marinated in cardamom, cinnamon, corn flour, and apple cider vinegar. And yeah, I don't really want to start the noodles quite yet, so I might have a little tidy. Oh no, I know what I'm going to do. I'll go and show you the books I've got from the library. Here I am, library books. I've got a pile of fiction and a pile of non-fiction. We'll do the non-fiction first because it's smaller. So I got out That Dark Spring, a true story of death and desire in the 1920s Provence by Susanna Stapleton. And a few people have mentioned this as a good book for the prompt, a mystery that was never solved. Now I do have another book lined up for that. Saltwater Mansions it's called, and I'm going to watch the writer talk about it at a literary festival. Hello Deppy. But I still was intrigued by this. And I mean, I guess there's always a chance that this is going to be on the Women's Prize for fiction, non-fiction. But yeah, it's about it's about April 1929. The body of a British artist, Olive Branson, was found submerged in a water tank outside her farmhouse in picturesque Provence village. Dressed only in a pink shirt and stockings, she had a bullet hole between her eyes and a revolver by her side. Was it suicide or murder? So yeah, there we go. I've also got the Mushroom Tapes, which is very sort of out there, isn't it? About this is written by 3 different women. Helen Garner, Chloe Hooper and Sarah Krasnostein, and this is stories on a triple murder trial. This was, you may well remember, in July 2023, in a quiet Australian country town, Erin Patterson, a stay-at-home mother and true crime devotee, invited her husband's devoutly Christian family to lunch. Within days, 3 of her guests were dead and the 4th was in a coma. They had all been poisoned by death cap mushrooms. So this is, and then these are the trials that happened 2 years later. So there we go. Again, could potentially be on the Women's Prize for non-fiction. This one could also be on the Women's Prize. All of these could be on the Women's Prize for non-fiction. This is Peatlands, A Journey Between Land and Water by Alice Fowler. And this is about the value of peat bogs as a natural resource and a haven of biodiversity. Yet few of us have been lucky enough to experience their beauty and richness. And yeah, the author calls for us to sink deep into the dark earths of these rugged places and take a close look at the birds, animals, plants and insects that live within them. And then lastly, I've got Daughters of the Bamboo Grove, about China's stolen children and the story of separated twins by Barbara Demick. And yeah, I mean, when I was younger, like I was really into geography as a child, and then I didn't get on with my teacher at 6th form, so I only did it for AS level, when I think I probably could have done very well at it at A level. But one of the things that always stays with me is the one child rule that was instated in China. And I remember thinking from a very young age, that seems wild. And this is a book that was set in, this is a non-fiction book about in the 2000s when a Chinese woman gave birth to twins in a bamboo grove, and she was trying to avoid detection by the Chinese government because she already had 2 daughters. 2 years later, an American couple travelled to Xiaoyang to adopt a Chinese toddler that they thought had been abandoned. And the understanding is that the Chinese one-child policy was leading to a whole host of young girls being abandoned because of the people trying to stick to this policy. So yeah, I think it'll be very interesting and very harrowing, probably. So yeah, so those are the 4 non-fiction, and then the fiction, and I won't go into as much detail about these, some of which I've already got out once and had to give back and got back out again, so I think I'll just do titles of these. Most of these have come from people's best books of the year, and some of them have come, my library has a good section whereby you can see what books are being published that month, and I always put a couple of reservations on that. So I've got The Book of Records by Madeleine Thiem. I've read one Madeleine Thiem book before and I didn't get on with it at all. What was the one? We read it for book club. Do Not Say We Have Nothing. I didn't get on with it at all, but we shall see. Introducing Mrs. Collins by Rachel Parrish, which is a Pride and Prejudice retelling from the point of view of Charlotte Lucas. Stag Dance by Tori Peters. And we read Detransition Baby by the author for Patreon Book Club a couple of years ago, and really loved it. Really got on with it. What Strange Paradise by Omar El Akkad. Chosen Family, and I always say I really like books and TV programmes about chosen family, so hopefully this title does as it says. By Madeline Gray, and I like that front cover very much, very fun and bright. Got the next book in the Slow Horses series, London Rules by Mick Herron. Got Lincoln in the Bardo by George Saunders. Haven't read any by this author, and the newest one of his is just out, and there was a big pomp and parade about it in Foyles yesterday, so it'd be nice to read some of the original stuff. And then I'm sure you've already seen this. This is Meet the Newmans by Jennifer Niven. Look at those end papers. So yeah, so I need to prioritise probably Meet the Newmans by Jennifer Niven, because some of these are going to be due back at the library. So yeah, those are those. Alexa, how long left on the timer?
You have 8 minutes and 50 seconds.
8 minutes until I can assemble my pies and put them in the oven, and I'll start on the noodles then as well. Let's do something with these library books. Well, bad news is I can't find the fucking pie dish. So I found 2 dishes that are pie dish-esque They are not pie dishes. To hope for the best. In fact, this one says, oh my, what a pie. So this might be a pie dish. But the amount of apples I've got, there's no way it's fitting in here. And here, then I've got to roll out the bigger section. And then that's the smaller section to go on top once I put the apples in. So let's get rolling. And let's see what happens. Let's. The pies are finished. They're not cooking. They need to sit for half hour in the fridge. The little one is a bit messy. If it was a little bit nicer, I might think about giving it to my nan for her birthday, but here's the bigger one. I mean, I'm really hoping David will eat some of that. The rest of the apples I've left and I'm going to have with my shreddies tomorrow. But yeah, we're on to noodles. I actually don't feel that hungry now because I've just been eating all the apples as I've been going, but yeah. This shouldn't take long. It's a pantry noodle dish, so it should be pretty easy and it should be nice. And I should plop it all down there. We start with this guy, and we need to grate that. I've got pastry all over me. I'm on October the 14th, so we'll listen to a bit more of Stanley. Daphne! My battery ran out while I was cooking, but here are noodles. They look nice, don't they? And that's the cabbage. Yeah, and that's tofu. I think it looks really nice. I love noodles, so I'm excited to eat it. And I'm going to watch tonight's episode of Casualty despite David not being here. Naughty of me, but she's got to get the win in today, guys, and the win is watching Casualty. Delicious. Right. Casualty. And then I think we'll start winding down. Hello. I'm going to wrap this up now. There's Daphne. I wondered where she's been. Just heard her coming down. There she is. I'm going to answer the question, and I think it'll be nice to dwell on the question because, like I said, it's a very nice question. Describe your ideal reading day. Where are you? What are you eating, drinking, listening to, wearing, and who's there? Well, I mean, I probably start the reading day. I'm going to do my crochet while I'm doing this. November's very light blue. There's been no other colours. I would start my reading day by reading in bed. I really like reading in bed, and particularly David's got him really into his reading this year, and he's been reading in bed with me both in the morning and of an evening. And often, guys, I'm just finding him reading on his own. So David would be very much there, and we'd start by reading in bed, and then the Welcome collection in London, and I don't want to go through the rigmarole of travelling there. So if that could just be sort of close to me, or I could step through a sort of reading portal and go to the reading rooms at the Welcome collection in London, that would be lovely. That's a really nice library space with sort of, well, I mean, I haven't been for many years. Oh, my phone's going off. I haven't been for many years, but it used to have lovely like bean bags, and we'd often go and stop there when we were doing a booktuber meetup. So that was very nice, and you could have a little sit in there, and they had like a nice selection of magazines and stuff. And I actually remember when me and my sister took my dad to the Harry Potter exhibition that was at the British Library. My sister was just recovering from tonsillitis. Oh, she's gone wrong with that. And she still wasn't feeling very up to it, so we sort of dropped her off there, and she stayed in there laying on a beanbag reading a magazine while me and my dad went and had a look around the Wellcome collection. So at some point I'd like to nip to the Wellcome collection, because it's a lovely space for reading, or at least it was about 10 years ago. I'd like a sort of what I've been making for me and David when we've been sitting reading, something called a reading platter, and that is some crudité, and crudité for me is cucumber, carrot and pepper, and that's in my order of preference. Pepper's my favourite, then carrot, then cucumber, with some pita bread and some olives and some nice dips, and they're quite good to sort of just graze on as you're having a little reading session. After I've been to the Wellcome collection like reading room, like I wouldn't mind popping back home and having a nice bath and reading in the bath. And yeah, I think it would just be me and David probably. And yeah, does that sound like a nice reading day? Oh, my phone's going off. So that's probably my plan, but I'm very interested to hear what other people have to say. And there'd probably be a section at some point whereby I'd listen to an audiobook and do a bit of crocheting or do a bit of crafting or something, because that would be very nice, because I enjoy doing that as well. Cool, right, okay, so I think I will now just finish these 3 little, what I believe to be called double crochets. I don't know whether that's a UK term or a US term, or indeed in non-factual term. But I'm now going to read today's excerpt on the Kingdom of Kush from Black History for Every Day of the Year, and I will report back to you. There's a picture here of a building which is in disarray, but let me read what's going on and then I'll report back to you, and then we'll call this a day and I can go and edit this for you. Well, there we go. I've read about the Kingdom of Kush, and when I actually looked at this picture I thought, oh, that's a pyramid. It's not a pyramid, but it has got sort of pyramid links here. So the Kingdom of Kush was located in a place in Africa called Nubia, which by today's standard would be sort of southern Egypt and northern Sudan, and it flourished between, and I have to read these dates down because anything sort of BCE really confuses me. So it flourished from 1070 BCE to around 550 CE, and it was an important trading nation and independent from the Persian, Greek and Roman empires, and it was a civilization which had its own language, technology, currency, religion, really strong economy, and it was famous for the skills of its archers. And like the Egyptians, they had its own distinct style of architecture and art. So it was still sort of temples and pyramids, but they were decorated in a unique way which carved scenes of African life into the walls. It all sort of came to a head in around 330 CE, when Kush was invaded by the Kingdom of Aksum, which is now modern day, covers Ethiopia, Eritrea, Djibouti and Sudan, and it lost its independence and became part of the Aksumite Empire. So there we go. That is something that I had never, an ancient kingdom that I'd never even heard of. So there we go. We continue to learn together. So there we go. Sorry the energy's been a bit flat in the latter part of this, but like I say, I can't be happy all the time, guys, and today has been a testing day, but tomorrow is another day. And I'll wake up feeling better, I'm sure. And I'll see you all again soon for another BookTube video. Goodbye.